welcome to Cosmo Muse. Today we have a reading to look into predictions and outlook for the month ahead for June 2023. So we have 4 piles we're going to look at today. Pile 1 is Golden Healer Quartz, and it says open the door. Pile 2 is Moonstone, live your purpose. So far those sound like really great topics for a month to take on. Pile 3 we have Red Jasper, take action. And pile 4 we have Lapis Lazuli, make a decision. Okay, so for those of you that have your own process for picking cards, you can pause here and then jump to the timestamps when you are ready. And then if you are someone that likes the breath work I do to kind of get into a good space for picking cards, we'll start that now. So place your feet firmly on the ground. Feel that strength and solidity, stability under you. And then take in a deep breath into that, sort of weight into your body, weight into the ground, really expand into the matter of yourself. And then hold that and exhale. Now take another deep breath in, and this time suck that air up, up, up into the space between your brows. Hold it there. Hold it there, suck in a little more to add pressure, and then out loud, exhale, opening up your crown chakra. Okay, now gaze over these 4 piles, these 4 cards, the 4 stones, the little bylines, whatever it is that jumps out to you, and ask which pile has your aligned message. All right, I will see you guys in your readings. Hello, Pile 1. Welcome to your June 2023 reading. You guys chose the card with the Golden Healer Quartz on it and the Open the Door message. So this card is going to be sort of your overarching kind of the theme of the month, the main message that's wanting, that, you know, that at least Spirit is wanting you to sort of hone in on and focus on. And we are going to look at some animal cards. We're going to look at one that holds the energy of where you are coming into the month, and then we'll do another animal card that will show sort of like where you're going, where the destination is. So this is a little bit like looking at a journey, with this open the door message being kind of the motor between starting to destination type of thing. So before I get too far into what open the door might mean, let's get these animals out and just kind of take a look at that trajectory. Putting this one, butterfly, to start the month, which is very fitting, kind of coming into this, at least in the northern hemisphere, very kind of spring, birds, bees, butterfly energy. So like a lightness kind of coming in, being felt as you enter June. And then black egg, which correlates to the throat chakra in this deck. Beautiful. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it looks like a really beautiful journey to me. I'm not seeing any like major, red flags. Look out for this type of energy. I'm feeling just like a really beautiful lightness coming in, and that helping you to sort of use that sort of spring tends to have some really gentle light breezes associated with it. It is connected to sort of air energy, in my opinion. And I feel like that breeze, sort of the whisper of spirit kind of coming through, trying to move you to the right things to pollinate And by getting sort of curious and lightening up and starting to move around a little bit more in life, maybe socialize a little bit more in life, and even like flirt with life a little bit, you know, gussy yourself up a little. You know, when we come out of, you know, we've been in spring for a little while now, but I definitely feel like the first part of spring is sort of like a lot of spring cleaning mode. And I feel like it's time to kind of get out of the trenches of that type of thing and start to kind of put on your fabulous outfits, a little bit of makeup, whatever makes you feel, you know, maybe that's not your thing, maybe it is, but whatever makes you feel eager to be out and about, that makes you feel a little bit flirtatious with life and curious with life and feeling like just like a light touch with things, but definitely getting out and about a little bit more. And by doing that, certain doors are going to open. That is the thing that's really going to open spring up to you with like opportunities and potentials. And maybe there is, for some of you, a specific door you've been looking at and hoping and trying to figure out how to open it. And to me, this is like, don't worry about that. Just get out there and be playful and light, and then it will happen. And then once you're in that door, it feels like by the end of June, it's like moving from like a lightness of expression, sort of a surface expression, into like really major truths sinking in and really finding your voice and finding something that feels potent and powerful that you are connecting to and wanting to express into the world. So moving from just sort of moving around and getting out more to really more powerfully asserting something, some truth, some expression out into the world by the end of June. And it has something to do with a door opening or certain doors or opportunities opening to you. Yeah. Okay, I want to look at some astrology around each side to get a little more specific. Taurus, 9th, Libra. So this is, oh, shoot. I have the wrong, hold on one second. We need a planet dice, not two. Okay, let me roll the planet dice. Neptune. Sorry, I feel like we need to re-roll these. It was all off. And I feel like these things aren't mistakes. I feel like this is why you're needing to get out and move around. It's like you're needing to test things and try things on. Like not everything is right on its first fit. And so whatever, maybe that's like the door you're looking for a door to open. And it's like you have to try different doors, and you can't do that unless you get out and do the work of trying, of, you know, and to me, the wrong dice scenario is saying that, like, you know, your first door or two are probably not going to be right, but still have fun, enjoy it, the process that's leading you to the right door. And I feel like the dice then are telling us about this door a little bit more so than the butterfly. So we're going to put it between these two then. Yeah, exactly. 11th house, you need to get out and mingle with friends. If you are someone that has a career or you work in a specific industry, that's also kind of a sign to kind of be active in that, but definitely also active in friendship. Any groups that you're associated with, it's like time to up your level of kind of being involved there. Yeah, there's like new hope, new sparks that will come to life for you there. There may be some illusions to see through, and that might be why like the first couple things you try in terms of trying to figure out what this open door is may have some illusions around them. They may have some glamour around them that is a little illusionary, not quite true. I don't see like a red flag with that. I still feel that butterfly energy of like, don't despair, don't get down if you are a little bit falsely persuaded in somewhere. Just stay light with it and move on, type of thing, because the right thing will come, and you will start to see through the illusions by looking under the surface of things, by listening to those mysteries kind of drawing you certain places, impulses to ask deeper questions. So it's interesting with this Scorpio coming out along with the butterfly. So there's a balance of like really needing to stay light and fun and just roll with the punches, but asking also questions that are a little deeper, a little bit more from your empowerment. You can still come from like a very empowered, strong place and stay light. And I think that's your challenge here, is to really recognize where you feel empowered, and to let that move you in a light way, but definitely to be out there and to not, feel bummed out if certain things you land on or think are potential openings or opportunities end up not being what you thought. Stay light with it. Use that discerning and deep wisdom that you have to, ask better questions next time, or follow those deeper longings in the next thing you flit off to. Okay, and then let's look at some astrology for the black egg, which I think will have a lot of insight into maybe what you end up walking through, what door ends up kind of opening to you. So we have South Node, 10th house, and Virgo. Yeah, again, with discernment here, something does, like whatever opens to you, and then through that, whatever kind of truth and expression settle in, it's sort of like it's coming because of some karma you've ended up working through and having ahas about, and that could pertain to something you're trying to master, to your career, to some sort of responsibility in your life. And it's just like, whatever settles in as you walk through this door, it's like, it's just like immediately you have this aha, and it releases some karmic lesson that you've been through, and you suddenly land in a much more discerned, distilled, skillful understanding of something, especially as relates to place in the world, mastery, career, something like that. Okay, let's get a layer deeper with this. Ooh, that came right out. Taking risks. And that goes along with everything I've already said with the butterfly. It's like, be daring, just allow yourself to make mistakes, which allows, by giving yourself permission right up front, right as you enter June, like it's okay to make mistakes this month, especially in the front end of this month. And because of that, and because I know that I probably am going to make some little mistakes right off the bat, I'm gonna, it's just like, just knowing that that's part of what's coming. It's just like giving you permission to like, okay, well, I'm gonna take some risks then, because it's just, I don't know how to articulate this. It's just like, I know that I have to move around. I know that I have to try some things, knock on different doors, get out, move around. I'm probably going to be faced with some illusions that I'm going to have to cut through or learn some lessons from. But that's all part of getting to this door. Something about that, like for you guys, like some door that either you're hoping a door or opportunity presents yourself, or you've been trying to do that for some time, but it's like, yeah, you have to take some risks right now to get to that right door, that right opportunity. And to you, that risk might feel like getting out there and moving around more and being more social and being more proactive and flirtatious with the world. Maybe, yeah. Like I felt before, like I feel like a lot of you have maybe been kind of bogged down in some spring cleaning, and even spring cleaning in terms of psyche, if it hasn't been like house or whatever. But just like a lot of weeding out the old, and it's time to like realize, wow, I've really lightened up, and now I need to take some risks if I can see what's going forward with everything, with the space I've created, that I've cleared out. And then let's see if this card can give us any other insight about what kind of expression or truth is kind of sinking in. Happiness. I love that. I love that for you guys. And that brings up this thing that it's like maybe this butterfly mode is sort of like a fake it till you make it thing. I do feel some resistance to that. It's interesting that that's the energy that is presenting that you're in, but I feel like it's like more like that's what you want to feel like for some reason. And this now is coming through to say like fake it till you make it. And you're gonna find that thing, that opening that lights you up. And then that will be true for you. And you'll authentically express happiness by the end of June. But you have to get out there and you have to be light and move around and like figure that out, you know? Interesting. Yeah, and there's something about doing that work that clears some karma and really helps you to see, you know, a bigger vision of your life with more discernment and more rhythmic beauty. And, you know, I'm thinking of these dolphins and some sort of like a rhythmic beauty with the season. And maybe that's part of what this is like finding that opening to feel in rhythm with the season, hence finding a sort of truth of what this spring and moving into summer by the end of June is for you. And how do you find happiness in that? Yeah, really beautiful. Okay, we are going to do a few of these Oracle, what is it called? I can't remember the name of this deck. It will be in the descriptions though. A few cards to get a little bit more insight into the journey from here to there. Deep knowing. And I feel like this is that Scorpio aspect, the owl coming through here and the moon. And it looks like another planet potentially above it. I don't know if that's like Mercury or anyway. But I do think that you have like, well, let's get the other cards out and then I'll go into it. Time for a nap. That's interesting. And then buy the book. Okay. So yeah, this to me feels like where you actually are coming into June, or where you have been maybe, and just like a lot of sitting with your intuition, a lot of sitting in your inner knowing and your personal wisdom. And that's something you can take with you in terms of having depth and having, just a lot of inner connection and a lot of inner wisdom that is now giving you the impulse to take risks, but you're needing to find a way to do this to connect to butterfly energy as you jump into this month of being light and of getting out and moving around. And I feel like fake it till you make it, and it will come pretty quickly. You'll start to just like fall into that, and it won't take long for you to kind of, move from this like deeper place into just like a lightness. And I actually feel that time for a nap as a certain lightness, even though the butterfly is sort of like get out and socialize and move around, but there is this lightness. It's like a relaxed way of being, and it's sort of like, yeah, let June be maybe a little bit, I don't quite want to say lackadaisical, but just about trying to find the lighter connection to life. Get out and socialize, flirt with life, be curious, touch a lot of things, take your naps, move lightly. And this feels sort of like, you know, they're up in the clouds. It's a very light nap, you know, so easy, gentle naps. Just like a lightness of being in June. And then by the end, we have by the book, and it's sort of like we've got a hierarchy here, we have a family here, we've got, sort of following the right path, following the leader here. Whatever truth or expression comes in, and we already did see that something is opening around career and around maybe mastery. And so, you know, you may be kind of clicking into your right place in some sort of, you know, structured setting, some sort of career field. A door's opening for you to like click into the right place of something. And it's like, part of why that door is opening is kind of like understanding what is required of you and what is required of this position, or whatever you're aspiring to, and what it is you can bring. And so finding that right opening to like click in to this thing that, and I'm seeing the 11 here again, mirroring this 11. And I think it's like, not only are you going to find that open door and like really figure out what it is you're needing to align with to kind of click into your place, but as you do so, as you find your position and some opening with this, and like, you know, maybe it's not even a new opening, and maybe it's just like this new kind of level of awareness that clicks in for you and what you're already doing, that just helps you to see where you are in the grand scheme of things and what trajectory you need to follow. But by doing so, it's like, not only do you kind of start to align better with what you're aspiring and reaching for, but it's like you're also going to be noticed by doing this. The 11 to me in this instance, in the mirroring, has a lot to do with industry. It's like all of a sudden your industry notices you because of this. Like it's bringing like better reputation. Like I think you're seeing the truth of what it takes to reach what you're trying to reach. And there's like specific paths to this. And maybe you've been trying to do something your own way, or out of the box way, or shake it up. But there's something about like coming into line that actually allows you to start coloring out of line. So it's like you have to get in line first for you to get the credential, the credence, the sort of status you need to then move outside of the lines and do things the way you want to do them. But there's something about like doing it in the right order first, or in the right alignment first, and in the expected way first, that clicks this in for you, that then opens the door for you to shake things up. It's like you have to get in first. You can't for whatever it is you're trying to do, like sometimes you can shake it up and just like change things and get your own trajectory going. But it's like for whatever is being talked about for this month and whatever this means to you, it's like in order for you to shake things up or do it in your own beat or kind of push the envelope or color outside of the lines, it's like you have to come in line first. And then you can make a much bigger difference at that point in coloring outside of the lines, but it's like you have to come into line first. And just stay like easy. Again, this happiness coming through, this lightness coming through. It's like, stay easy with this. Don't think too hard about it. Just let that truth settle in really gently and easily, and just try to have a little bit more lightness and fun, and I think it will all just kind of start to make sense. Okay, let's get a few more oracle cards for insight here. Darkness, moon. Yeah, again, it's like that's where you're coming from. And then Earth, home. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think you've been doing a lot of internal seeking, a lot of really connecting to intuition, a lot of purging of things, really trying to understand your personal magnetism, your personal gravity, your personal weight. So you've come from maybe in May doing a lot of really deep work on your psyche. And it's just saying like, yeah, it's time to move into a lightness with this. Try to move around, fake it till you make it, getting into butterfly, but that's going to click in very quickly because this does indicate that you are going to be in butterfly energy, you know, early on in the month. But like, yeah, I think this is spirit just coming in to say like, you've done the depth work you need to do right now, and that will be a dead end now until you go back out into the world. Yeah, the ebbs and flows of the moon right now. It's time to come back out from the dark side of the moon into that bright full moon or daytime moon, and just kind of lighten up and get out there and put that work you've done in terms of psyche and intuition out into the world, and just try to be light with it, and that will sink in pretty quickly. You'll click into that quickly. And then as you do that, there's something here about like starting to become very conscious. Yeah, Earth in some esoteric studies is what we are conscious of. And then we have this truth settling in and expression. And it's like, I think whatever door opens to you and that you go through, it's all of a sudden like you become very, very conscious. You take things from like this intuitive psyche place, you lighten up and move that around, and all of a sudden like a door opens, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is what this is all about. Like that awareness just settles in, and you become very conscious of something. And from that grounded place of clarity and knowing, all of a sudden a truth really kind of comes into you, and you sort of find your home in terms of how you're supposed to kind of plug into what you're reaching for. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, we are going to do a few tarot to end, and then after the tarot, just a quick feather message to leave you with. We've got two cards here. Seven of Pentacles. You've been investing already a lot of time and effort, and that can also be like spring cleaning stuff. And then Wheel of Fortune. Ace of Cups, gorgeous. That is this door opening, Wheel of Fortune to Ace of Cups, that opening, a door opening to you. And one you'll love that will bring a lot of happiness and a lot of understanding about what home feels like and what, you know, your place of clicking into something. And then Two of Cups, gorgeous. Man, these are beautiful cards. But yes, this Seven of Pentacles shows a lot of, like, I think May has been a lot of cultivating, spring cleaning, a lot of that work of just like clearing the field to plant new seeds and get that right. But it's like, you do all that work, and sometimes it takes a long time for those seeds you've sown to materialize out in visible life, you know? And it's saying, like, yeah, you've done all that work, and you've done that cultivating, and the wheel is turning, the season is shifting, and you're going to start to see that life above the surface. You're going to start to see the materialization and the evidence, visual evidence of all of the hard work you have put in, both down in your psyche, because we have that moon thing, but also just things you've really cared about and planted and cultivated. It's like they are going to break through the surface and materialize, like something's coming into fruition here. The doors, this might be multiple doors opening, maybe not all 7, but it's like you've done a really good job and 5 of those seeds take instead of like 2, which maybe in a normal year, like 2 of the 7 take, but I feel like this year 5 of the 7 take. And it's just, yeah, it's bringing an overflowing of beauty and abundance. I actually see these lotus flowers down, floating in, this is probably a lake rather than an ocean then. I see one in the distance here. So I actually see 4. So it's like 4 potentials really kind of opening to you, and feeling full and feeling healthy and feeling, you know, bringing you new happiness and joy. And this 2 of Cups, for some of you, it could be like finding that that rhythm and harmony within you, hence with love relationships outside of you. If that doesn't resonate to you, like maybe there isn't someone in your life, or whatever the case for you, this can also just mean just like really feeling clicked in with your soul and moving into life from a soul place, which means like the path opens up, it clears out, and you know exactly where you're going. Yeah, and so just like this new truth of like your soul's direction, your soul, where your soul is trying to get you to focus and move, like you come in alignment with that, and it brings a lot of truth and a lot of happiness to you. Gorgeous. Look at this month for you guys. Really beautiful June so far. Okay, we're going to end with a feather message. We have the Cardinal. Stand tall and proud. See the leadership role unfolding ahead of you. You know, and we did say that at least one of these, you know, seeds that are blooming to me is something about career, leadership, aspiration. And it's like, yeah, stand tall in that and be proud of whatever comes in that capacity. So gorgeous. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. Happy June. It looks like a really beautiful journey for you guys. Yeah, and if this resonates, all those little things, like, share, subscribe. I always appreciate kind and thoughtful little comments. And yeah, have a gorgeous June, you guys. All right, see you later. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your June 2023 reading and outlook predictions. So you guys chose the Moonstone, and this card says live your purpose. So this is kind of going to be the overarching touchstone for this reading, for what Spirit is especially wanting you to have some insight into. And the way this reading is going to go, it's going to kind of be looking at things in the sense of like a journey of like how do we either get to this living your purpose, or how does living your purpose sort of create certain events and circumstances in your life. So to start with, we are going to pull 2 animal cards, one on each side of this, showing sort of the energy you're starting the month with and the trajectory of kind of what you're shifting toward as you move through June, and then seeing how live your purpose sort of is a touchstone for that in some way. So we've got the moth and gazelle. Very interesting transition here. Okay, so, but I can see where this is coming from. The moth, like these are both very, I would say both of these animals, at least in this deck, have kind of a creative undertone to them, but in very different ways. So I can see what this journey might be about for you. So the moth is a little bit kind of short-lived, like it has like a short attention span. It will kind of feel intensely about something and then move on, whereas like the gazelle is a little bit more focused and sustained and graceful. But both of these creatures are also a little bit skittish at the same time. So just like one overlaying in terms of the whole energy of this month that I would say to do is to take care of your nervous system and to try and work through and confront any sort of fears or certain shyness around things. Like really watch the environments, especially that you put yourself in. Ask yourself before you go somewhere, does this feel right for me? Do I want to go wherever it is, if it's something you have a choice about? And really listen to that and really seek out environments that make you feel sort of calm and somewhat safe, but at the same time, like noticing what fears may be underlying a certain skittishness, and are those fears things that you can kind of confront a little bit, not in like a head-on sort of big cat type of way, but like in a contemplative way. So a gentleness is coming through, but moving in general from kind of a lighter, more internal, creative spark, because the moths, they come out at night. They're kind of nocturnal insects, or I don't know if it's technically an insect or what they're categorized, but they are a nocturnal creature. And they look for kind of the light of the moon, any sort of light bouncing off of things. That kind of is like what draws their attention, and they have a hard time focusing. So it's sort of like figure out what I'm feeling here is like at the start of the month. I think it's fine to kind of be in a little bit of a fickleness and a lightness with your creativity in an internal place. But as soon as you find something that really hooks you, that really has that pull and that draw for you in that creative vein that I think you have, really ask how you can live that with more purpose and start to find more focus and more expressed energy. The gazelle is a little bit more of a daytime energy, and it has a lot of focus and stamina. So it's like, so spend some time at the front end of the month, being light, being internal, trying to kind of figure out what it is in terms of creativity that's going to capture you and hold your imagination, and then start to shift that with more focus, really live that with purpose and focus and more extroversion, I would say. Okay, let's see some astrology here with our moth. The last reading had a south node in their astrology too. That might be kind of a universal thing coming through. Yeah, the message I'm feeling here is like, you're gonna know when you find that thing that you can give more of like living your purpose to and starting to shift into more focused energy. When you feel like some deep pleasure and value, that's the sensation that will come. It's a lot of pleasure, a lot of value, something even that you can like hold. Maybe this creativity will come in the form of like something you can do through your physical senses. And don't mind any noises from my dog. He just ran in here and decided to clean himself. So I'm sorry if you can hear that. But that also gives you this exploratory, yeah, I mean, I think that I actually want to move these between here. It's like you're going to know when you find that thing that wants to shift into being like a very focused purpose in creativity, because you'll feel very adventurous rather than fickle, and you'll feel very much so like you have a strong aim, and there will be a sense of value and pleasure around it. And there's something about this that is really kind of helping you to release some karma, or to come into a certain wholeness around that. I'm actually feeling this very differently, this south node differently for you guys than I felt in Paya 1. It's like you're also going to feel very kind of whole, like something's going to click in, like, okay, this is very holistic what I'm looking at. And because of that, there's a deep acceptance kind of coming in, and this openness now to exchange upon this. And you may even get some external clues here of other people, like getting feedback, mirroring from other people of like interest and wanting exchanges with you around this creative thing that may bring value to you. So that's one interesting thing to look for. Okay, let's get some astrology around Gazelle. Taurus again, that's very very important here. And Venus, which rules Taurus. And the 10th, the first reading had a 10 here as well. Again, some universal energies playing out in general, I think. Yeah, whatever this thing is, this live your purpose, whatever this creative vein might be to you, yeah, I really do think it's something that can bring you a lot of esteem, a lot of self-love, a lot of value, a lot of pleasure, and really kind of put you in the spotlight a bit. Not in the terms of like a performative spotlight, but in the terms of like having some kind of mastery that people look up to and admire and respect, like really respect, a lot of respect coming your way. Beautiful, very interesting. Okay, let's go a little layer deeper here on each side. Diligence. And diligence in relation to the moth and what we've seen with the dice, to me feels like committing to being moth-like, committing to exploring and being easily distracted but easily captured by the flame of things. Be diligent about that. That's an interesting message. Allow that to just be there, even if you may kind of be able to see from the outside that it's not a real stable mode of being. I think this is where you're capturing inspiration at the front end of the month, and you just need to go where that takes you and to be diligent about that. Okay, and then once you get into the gazelle mode, because you've kind of found the one thing that's really sticking and feels whole and feels valuable and pleasurable, it's a gateway, and we've got a unicorn. I really feel for you guys that like you're hitting your thing. You're really discovering your thing, like literally your divine purpose. And the door is opening to you in this. Yeah. There's not much more I have to say about that. It's really straightforward and powerful. Okay, let's get a few more oracle cards to tell a little story from one side to the other. Yeah. Imagine it's just like be in this whimsical place at the front end of June. Just allow inspiration to move you. Let your imagination go wild. You're just really needing to kind of be in a little bit in la la land and diligent about allowing that to be. And then you move towards serendipity. So that's that hook to me, like something through doing that, something is going to be like, oh, this, I don't need to be moved by and distracted by things anymore. I'm no longer distracted. I'm fully fixed because these very serendipitous things have happened around this thing I feel a lot about. And like, this is the thing I'm committing here. I'm moving that diligence of just letting my inspiration and whimsy be whatever to seeing the thing that is so deeply connected to my purpose. And there's going to be multiple serendipitous things that help, you know, really kind of flash that neon light like this, you know. It will be internal, but there will also be these external things. Like this will be really hard to miss, I feel like. You know, and then the 4-leaf clover here, it's like that luck, coming into luck as well. And then yang, and that's again, like I said, it's once you get there, once you feel that, I think you'll see that like, oh, well, this thing that I'm land on, I actually feel very already like full and whole and skilled in this and ready to just like really express this with confidence. And that's where those like exchanges and like is like this thing just like clicks in for you, I feel like. And I, you know, for whatever reason in this yang card, the solar plexus is just calling out to me here of like feeling that willpower and feeling confidence and feeling bright and alive and eager and excited to be assertive. But whatever it is about you still is like a very sensitive, gentle thing, even though you feel kind of strongly about it. So just, you know, continue to keep that in mind of like the kinds of environments you put yourself in, even if you're feeling assertive and confident, it's like you're still like a sensitive person or whatever that purpose that is starting to feel like what you're supposed to live, whatever that is sensitive. So even though there's confidence there, you still need to be mindful of it, some, you know, how you create environment around it and how you kind of keep it feeling safe and not overly worked in terms of like a nervous system exhaustion out of like due to like fear responses. Yeah, so it's just by the end of the month. I mean, it may be just as you're leaving June that you really feel that just this strength of focus, determination, purpose, and recognition coming through. It's like, put it out there, you know, and this is your gateway. This is like your entrance into being the magical, gentle, rare creature you are. Is sort of what it feels like. Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, one more layer deeper with some oracle cards. We've got time. Oops. And it says discipline under it, which to me has some correlation to diligence, discipline, diligence. And this is saying that, like, yeah, there's timing here. So I don't know if, I'm trying to think about something more mid-month in terms of lunar events. It might be like the new moon, something like that, or when the moon passes your own moon, or when the moon passes your sun. There's some kind of timing involved here, in terms of when the key to this purpose and this gateway are kind of offered over to you. But I also feel like, in seeing this mastery thing that's come through the 10th house, that on the flip side of this, in addition, I feel like you have put the time in with whatever it is that kind of clicks in for you. It may click in like a new, reinvented, or different manifestation, but in terms of something that you already have mastery and skill in, where you've put in diligence and discipline and time, but it's just kind of like something about this has sort of like collapsed in on itself and recongealed, and is kind of being rebirthed in a more pure, more correct, more magical form, in a form that you have more confidence with and more excitement about. And then we've got wildness, electricity. And I have two messages here. Again, it's like, watch your nervous system, like not just fear, but, you know, because I talked about fear being something you're going to have to protect and calm your nervous system about. But I think also excitement could wear out your nervous system or blow its fuses. But that being said, it's like, yeah, when whatever this live your purpose thing kind of clicks in for you, it's just like, it's going to feel shocking and exciting and liberating. And it's really, yeah, I mean, it's just gonna light you up. And you're going to light the world up in return through this. So it's really beautiful what's coming through here. And again, plugging into the Taurus Venus here, it should feel very, you know, you want to make sure whatever you kind of click in with, that you allow it to move through you in a way that feels beautiful and good to you. Yeah, gorgeous. Okay, let's do some tarot cards, and then we will end with a quick feather message after these. Oh, that one flipped over. Chariot. Totally makes sense. Hermit. Seven of Cups. Oops. And the Fool. totally. The gateway, the Fool, it's kind of similar thing going on here. Yes, okay, I definitely see a story here. I think, I think there are a lot of shiny, exciting things around you as you jump into the month. And it's just going to take kind of moving with inspiration through these and not being put out if not everything's as you expected. Just allow your inspiration to move you from one thing to the other. And yeah, just like be in your instinct, be in your process, move at your own beat, move for, like the path ahead is just like clear, but there's just like a lot of things on the side of the path that are interesting and hold potential. So they're sort of distracting and you just need to kind of go with that. But you're gonna, you know, through all these distractions, that one thing is going to stick out and it's going to be very in tune with your particular instinct, your particular wisdom, your particular rhythm and capabilities. It's just going to be like exactly right. Sort of like what's the one where the folk tell where she goes to the bears' houses? One has like a straw house and one has a mud house and one has a, you know, or the porridge, like one's Goldilocks, you know, one porridge is too cold, one is too hot, and one is just right. It's like you have to keep trying all the different shiny distractions until you find there is one that is exactly right, and it is going to like hook you as your purpose, and it's really going to open like a new path to you. And you'll feel that impulse to jump to the new path. That gateway you'll know when it's there. But because of the cards and this coming out at the very end, I feel like it's not going to be until the very end of June that this one thing like really clicks in and sticks out. So a good portion of June may be just enjoying all the shiny trinkets and trying them on and realizing not quite right. And don't get frustrated with that. Just keep plugged into your inspiration, to imagination, and enjoy it. And just trust that very, very meant for you specific, beautiful thing is going to click in, and you will know when it does. Yeah. Okay, to end this, let's get a feather message. Feeling this one, the starling. Now is the time to get out into the world and connect in authentic ways. And that's what I feel like. It's just like, get out there and try the things on and let yourself be drawn to the shiny trinkets and to the different things, and let inspiration move you around in life, and just be true to your authenticity, to your particularness. And in doing so, you'll know what's right and wrong for you, and that really, really distinctive right thing, because you've stayed connected to your authentic ways, you'll come into connection with it, and you'll know when that is. It won't be this thing of like, is this it? If you have to ask that, no, you'll just know like magic, like, yes, this is my unicorn, this is me as a unicorn, this thing is a unicorn, whatever it is to you. All right, beautiful reading, pile 2. I love this June for you. I hope you have some fun and lightness and just kind of follow your whim for a while, and then I hope you find that thing, something like really hooking for your purpose and like a new start in that regard. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you. If this resonated, I always appreciate the things, the little thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and definitely kind and thoughtful little comments are always beautiful too. And I will see you in future readings. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your June June 2023 forecast and outlook. Okay, so to start this reading, you guys picked this red Jasper that says take action. And this is going to be the central theme of your reading, the thing that Spirit is really wanting to give you insight into about June. And the way this reading is sort of designed is to kind of take us on a journey to understand this and see kind of the journey you will be going through in relation to this. So to start, we're going to pull 2 animal cards, one to show kind of where you are starting June, where your energy is coming into the month, and then its trajectory, where it's trying to go in relation to this take action message. So bear, that makes perfect sense because in this deck, the bear is all about waking up from spring. So it's time to kind of wake up, time to shake off. And Phoenix, sort of rising from the ashes, rebirth, transformation. Beautiful. Wow, it's kind of a potent message. It's like something is waking up. It may not even be, you know, with spring, we're definitely waking up from winter all through spring, but coming to the end of spring, like as we are currently in the Northern Hemisphere, it's, you know, we've had some time to shake off the winter. So part of me feels like it's a little bit seasonal, but even more so something in you is waking up. Something more specific in you is waking up. And it is about to, and I got that sense, this red with the Jasper, I just felt like something really intense here. So when the Phoenix came out, I was like, yeah, that feels accurate to what I was feeling personally about this card. Whatever is waking up is about to really do something to transform, to out with the old, in with the new, to burn some impurities away, to renovate certain things. It's just like something is waking up that is going to really transform your life, resurrect your life, or resurrect whatever aspect of your life this take action relates to for you. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to roll some astrology dice for each of these animals to get a little more insight. Ooh, 7. So Moon and Gemini in the 7th is kind of the energy coming through here. So this could have to do with relationships. It could have to do with creating more lively, harmonious environments in the home. It could have to do with finding more, you know, I do connect like Gemini and Cancer energy down in the root chakra, and so like the moon rules Cancer, so it could be like finding more grounding in relationships, or doing something more material, more, I don't know, like you could be doing renovation work. That would explain a lot of movement too, a lot of ideas, a lot of ideas around home with a partner. If that doesn't resonate for you, it could just be like finding new harmonies in any of your, you know, in relational domain in general, with any one-on-one, the way you are resonating with people one-on-one, with more nurturance and communication. There's something waking up here though about this, about movement and nourishment and taking action around this. And I do, I feel for some of you, this could have to do with like a home renovation with a like with a spouse. And the thing, if that hits for you specifically, is like, and well, any of the things I've said, there is this thing of being really keyed into each other's emotions. When we do very transformational, renovational type of work, there's a lot that we work through. There's a lot that gets purged and burned away, and potentially psychological things that have to kind of be walked through. And it's like, really stay communicative and really stay connected to nurturing each other through that, because, you know, that it can be a really stressful process to go through renovations in relational settings. So however that works for you. Okay, let's look at some astrology around the Phoenix. 12. So Uranus in Aquarius in the 12th is kind of the energy associated here. Yeah, I mean, Uranus is one of the rulers of Aquarius, and these two are all about the shakeup. And the 12th house is like, you know, walking through the shadows, but also inspiration and deep comprehension and kind of an artistic, inspired aha coming through, or mystical aha coming through. But there is like a shakeup here. I do see some burning away of shadows and a shakeup. So however that resonates for you, but June is going to bring kind of a resurrection, a rebirth that might feel sort of surprising to you, but also enlivening and exciting. But because there are shadows here, I don't think, although there is excitement related here, I don't think all of it's going to feel easy. So it's just like, really stay connected to empathy, stay connected to nurturing. Yeah, but I think out the other side, what kind of rebirth is just like a really beautiful compassion that's awakened, like an awakening of compassion, an awakening of finding a certain complexity, simplicity and complexity, a certain understanding of things that had been complex, and seeing how to see them in more humane and aware ways. And then the take action in relation to that, I think it's just like, you know, face those shadows, do the work, walk into the fires. Whatever shakeup comes, it is, in the end, no matter how it feels in the process, in the end, it is here to reconnect you to like your life force and get that moving again. So if that shakeup shakes things up that you are uncomfortable with, just know that it's trying to get your life force back alive. And if it ends up in ways that feel beautiful to you, yeah, it's done its job too there. So interesting. Okay, let's look at a couple more oracle cards. Oops. So on the bear side, we've got flexibility. And that makes sense when we've got, you know, all of these things, something in relation to partnership or relationship. And we've got the moon, which ebbs and flows. And we've got Gemini, which is very, very you know, it is the flexible sign of any flexible sign. It's all about, you know, being intelligent and communicative and changeable. And yeah, I just think that you need to stay flexible with whatever is kind of waking up in terms of relational energy and roots and connection here. You need to kind of, yeah, just stay flexible about it. Stay open-minded, stay flexible. Allow that waking up to be a little bit more, with the other, not by you directing the wake up, but like you're waking up with some relational energy, which means you need to allow compromise and cooperation, and you need to listen as much as you speak, and find those give and takes, find those balance points, find the fairness, and just stay really flexible about that. Okay, on the Phoenix side, transformation, which is what the Phoenix is all about. But seeing this butterfly energy makes it feel to me like for the majority of you, because I had said I'm not sure if you're initially going to like what the shakeup brings, but this makes me feel like, by the end of June, even if there's been moments that you're like, what the hell? No, this is not happening, or I don't like this, all these changes or shakeup. By the end of June, you will see the benefit of it. You will see the beauty of what that transformation has brought. You will recognize it. But for a lot of you, I think you understand that it's moving you to lighter, more beautiful, flourishing energy. So really cool. And I can't help but notice there is this rose behind the butterfly, and the two wings are different colors, and it just makes me feel that relational tone again, relationship and the heart, and just like maybe for a lot of you, it's just like a total rebirth in a relationship, and being really proactive, taking action, being flexible to kind of revive something here. Okay, let's look at a few more oracle cards. We're going to take 3 down here to look a little more at the journey process. So we've got loyal heart. Look at that relational energy. And it makes me feel like whatever's waking up, maybe something's been dormant, but like, it's a beautiful thing. I think whatever is waking up for you relationally or with a partner, that awakening is coming because of a certain loyalty and trueness to heart that has been plugged into. And then chop wood. Carry water, chop wood, carry water, chop wood. This is the mundane of the take action, of the transformation. It definitely has that feeling of renovation to me. Something's being renovated, and that requires busy work. It requires effort. It requires action. And again, that thing coming through for a few of you, you really may be like renovating a house or something with a partner. I definitely think that is true for at least a few people watching this. And then community. This card has come out so much lately. Well, I like that with both the Aquarius and Gemini energy that has already come out. To me, this feels like that transformation, that renovation being gone through is really going to not only bring new life to your relational domain, but as a couple, I think you're going to know so much better, like where you're going, who your people are, who is your kind of soul tribe. Or if you're not in a couple and that doesn't relate, there could be certain things your heart is renovating and transforming in that helps you to plug into the right community that is supportive and beautiful and leads you to much better relationships of all sorts, much more aligned, much more vibrant, much healthier, much more nourishing, because I can't help but feel this nourishment between like a mom and baby giraffe. I don't feel connected to that dynamic of like a mom and baby, but like I feel that connection of like support and familyness within community and feeling right and feeling cared for and feeling caring toward, all that kind of stuff. Really beautiful. Okay, let's get one more layer deeper with the oracle cards. Comfort, hearth. Yeah, it's something with your home too. If you're not renovating a home with a partner or moving home with a partner, you may be moving. And that moving may be leading you to much like a neighborhood you connect better with, which then leads to different other communities that you just feel much more comfortable with, much more aligned with. And then attraction and magnetism. Yeah, whatever transformation you go through, it really is going to attract and magnetize the right connections, the right alignments, the right community, the right house, the right everything, whatever it is. Partner, house, community, sense of self, whatever that is for you. But you're taking on a magnetic quality in terms of attracting the right things that you are looking for right now, that your heart is seeking. Okay, we're going to do a few tarot cards and then we will end with a sweet little feather message. Star. Oh, I love seeing that. It just feels like this is something you're ready for, whatever you're waking up to and about to transform. There's hope here. I think for most of you, you're excited for the shakeup. You're excited for the electricity and the transformation and the burning away of old stagnant things. 5 of Pentacles. Oops. Let me get a couple others out before I know what 5 of Pentacles means. Page of Pentacles, okay. And 4 of Pentacles. Look at all those pentacles. Okay. Yeah, I am getting this thing of like, you need to trust the inspiration and the hope coming through to through any shakeups in values that take place, especially within a relationship or in how you are relating in general. When you shake up your values and change your values, it can bring moments of a lot of uncertainty and sort of nervousness and even like a scarcity mindset because of that fear. But continue to trust new inspiration you are feeling, new values that are coming through are really, really stable, really magical, and are very fertile. So it's like a trust the process thing. And I think that maybe slight fear or apprehension or like resistance because of the fear behind change, I think that's going to come pretty early on, and I think you're going to get over it pretty fast. But just know that that's part of a progression of things, of like when you find new hope and new ideas about something, it ultimately shifts old norms, and that can be just, you know, momentarily a scary thing till you get to the other side of like seeing something manifest from the new before you totally let go of the old. And that in-between place can really, that uncertainty is real, you know? And so that's just what I'm feeling here. It's like, there's nothing you can do to prevent it from coming, and there's nothing you can do that will make you stuck in that. It will come and it will go. You're plugging into a new hope. You're waking up to something that brings new hope. It's going to shift things. That's going to feel scary for a minute, but ultimately you're going to feel really passionate and strong and fertile about certain new values coming through in how you relate or within an important relationship, and the transformation will be stable. You will come out of it very stable, very secure, and much more vibrant, alive, healthy, on top of, you know, looking at this particular Four of Pentacles, it's like on top of the world. Yeah, like grand on top of the world. You'll come out of this great. And for those of you that may actually be renovating, that message also coming through of like, trust, you know, all the things you have to spend money on. You're strong enough to do what you want, to make your home what you want it to be. You have the foundation you need to do that. So move through the fear, connect to the things you really feel strongly about. And, you know, I mean, there's always the thing of like, don't go way above your budgets, but know that if there's things you're concerned about, but they're still within your budget, like you're strong enough, like do it. You know, if you have the budget, it's within, but you're scared about spending the money because it's part of a nest egg, like, no, do it. This is part of a transformation that's going to make your life and your finances, regenerate, like more generative, you know, instead of, and if you sit on those finances that are like a nest egg that you have to spend, they're going to like lose value and corrupt. It's like time to use it, to move it around. Yeah. Okay, to end this, let's get a feather message for you guys. Take this top one. White Swan, the power of divine grace is within you. And what a beautiful message for, you know, feeling calm leaving this reading. Like, yes, there are some shakeups coming. Yes, there's potentially some flexibility and some things to work through with a partner, and or in terms of how you relate and build relationships, and, you know, going through renovations and change. It's like you're gonna do this with such grace, with such beauty and calmness and divinity. Like, don't worry, you got this. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a lot, but you have it with grace because you are ready for this. Okay, that is where I'm gonna end your reading. What a reading, pile 3. What a June to come. I wish you luck. And if this resonated, I appreciate all the things, like, share, subscribe. And I always am grateful for kind and thoughtful little comments as well. And yeah, I will see you guys in future readings. Hello, pile 4. Welcome to your June 2023 forecast and outlook. So you guys picked the card with the Lapis Lazuli stone, and its message is make a decision. So your reading for the month is going to be centered around this message. It's the main theme that Spirit wants to bring to your attention through me. And yeah, so to start, we are going to get 2 animal cards, one on each side, one showing sort of the energy you're coming into the month with in relation to this make a decision energy, and then where that where the trajectory is leading, sort of in a journey through this. So we've got the owl, a lot of wisdom, insight, intelligence. This feels very deep to me because this second animal is like taking its time. Here we go. And tiger, which is another kind of night lunar. They're very different animals, but they're both kind of lunar associations. And make a decision. Yeah, I'm getting this thing of whatever this make a decision is about to you as you enter June. I think you're going to be doing like a lot of observing, a lot of deep thinking about this, a lot of kind of strategizing, checking in with your higher self, looking below the surface of things, like really trying to not just make a decision because you need to take action and move and do something, but like refusing to be rushed to make the decision is what I'm feeling here. Like this feels like an important decision, and one that you are like, no, I am going to take my time to really consider what it is I actually like. To me, there's a surface decision, but then there's this thing of like, but what is this decision actually about? It's not just about, should I take this job or this job and which one would I like better, but it's like, no, but this is about me feeling an overall sense of well-being, and that's what this decision needs to be made in relation to. Like, what is that deeper factor that you need to make the decision in relation to? And I think that's where the owl is coming in, trying to help you find out what that deeper thing is that should be steering the decision. And then once you find that deeper thing, really discerning and observing and yeah, just channeling into which one is what is the best decision. It may not be between 2 things, but what is the best decision going forward from here to satisfy this deeper thing in me. And then I see by the end of June, you're really going to find that target. It's like you're going to start to kind of stalk that thing. So by the end of June, you may not have actually taken action or fully made the decision, but you will be well into stalking that decision in the best possible, not in a creepy way. I don't see you as a stalker, but like, feeling ready to pounce on it, but like really needing to plug into the right timing, the right situation, the exact right scenario, like really waiting for that divine timing is what it feels like. And like really watching, observing, tracking, to figure out how and when to do that. And you're going to be ready when the opportunity presents itself. So for some of you that may present by the end of June, and for others you'll be like well on your way to like waiting for the time to strike and knowing what you're striking at kind of thing. Okay, let's look at some astrology for the owl. We've got second house, Uranus, and Cancer. So something around your sense of self-worth, something around income, something around what gives you generally a sense of pleasure, what your values are. There's something here that you're trying to find that intuitive connection to, but I do think that you're looking for a shakeup in some way. Yeah, like for something to shift, for something to feel more electric and alive. And so it's like you're really plugging into your intuition to figure out what that is that will make your sense of value, your self-worth, what brings you pleasure in life, like just more exciting. And for some of you, just like more, for some of you it's deeper, for some of you like more depth to this, and for some of you it's more excitement to this, and for some of you it's both of that. Okay, so making a decision, so, yeah, something connected to, value and pleasure. Okay, let's look at the astrology with your tiger. 11th house, Saturn, and Aries. Well, the focus, finding that exact singular thing, that's Aries, and finding the stamina and the focus to kind of figure out your strategy, figure out your plan, your goals, that's showing through here. And then the 11th has something to do with, you could be changing industry completely in order to find more value and pleasure in your life. You could be looking for different groups to be associated with or involved with. This could have something to do with friend groups. You may be looking for kind of new social circles, organizations or groups to belong to, or just like a complete shift in the industry that you are involved in. And whatever it is to you, something about that is connected to finding more pleasure and value in your life and feeling a little bit more depth and more aliveness there too. Yeah, but by the end of June, you will definitely have that target, the Aries. You'll know that singular thing, and you will be well into some deep focus and planning and strategizing and knowing, like, well on your way if you haven't already figured out when and how and what to strike at. Not in a even though the cat is a predator, I just mean in terms of like going after what you want. I read it more that way. You're either like well on your way to kind of working that all out and just waiting for the timing, or that timing by the very end of the month will present itself. Okay, let's go one layer deeper on each of these sides. Leadership. Yeah, so maybe there's whatever that group association is where you are now, you may not feel you're being utilized correctly or to your full capacity. And so you're looking for like a different way to be able to move into that role, to feel your value kind of like alive, and that intuitive capacity you have in leadership as well, like really being utilized in more valuable ways. That kind of feels interesting to me with this all. Okay, let's get one over here. And stand still. Yeah, don't be frustrated. This definitely clues me into that. I think for the majority of you, you're going to still be in the stalking phase, that planning, focusing, waiting for the right, like knowing where you're going, what you want, and sort of identifying the thing, or at least narrow down the thing you're stalking. But this to me shows that you may not find that exact timing to strike in June. That might come in July. But what this is saying is like, don't get frustrated by that. You're kind of in some floodplains at the moment. And while on the surface that just appears like something that's slowing you down, like you're moving through quicksand and like things are muddy, it is also bringing in new fertility and new silts for things to grow. But there are some things you may be also like really needing to kind of look under the surface with the owl and like detangle from old things, old stories, old whatever it is to you that are sort of like in the way of you being able to pounce on that new thing. And the reason why you're being slowed down is like that is something that has to happen. If you were to pounce too soon, you wouldn't be in right timing, right like the right divine timing, because there's still like some things you're needing to detangle from. So that's also where you can use that lunar tiger energy to really see into the dark hidden corners of things, of like where there are some entanglements that are still needing to kind of be weeded through under the surface of life. And so if you feel like you're being slowed down, that is for a process for you to really go slow, notice things that you didn't realize were tangles, and detangle. But at the same time, it's also making your timing and what you're looking towards in that future much more fertile. So just trust in the process, trust in that divine timing, trust in that slow, focused, effortful work. It will lead somewhere beautiful. And let's just I don't want to leave you hanging of like, how long is that flood going to be? So let's see a card for July, if it clears up in July. Truth. Yeah, I'm feeling that movement, that truth, that right, like July will be when the right timing, when you have freed yourself, that ability to kind of move with the wind because you're not tangled in anything and you see the truth and it's time to move then. So that will come in July for you guys. Okay, let's go one layer. Oh no. Yeah, one layer deeper, but with some different oracle cards. I'm going to pull 3 of these to kind of look at the trajectory of this story that we're already into. Got No Place Like Home. A Leg Up. That's beautiful to see. And the Fates. Beautiful. Let's see. No Place Like Home, A Leg Up, and the Fates. This all is absolutely divine timing, whatever is coming. So it's just like really trust that inspired sense you have that whatever decision is central here for you, especially in relation to feeling pleasure and value in life, yeah, there's something that you're going to lock in on and feel very strongly about. And it is fated. You just have to trust that the right timing will come at the right time and just be patient there. Because it is fading, it won't pass you by. So that's like a message I'm feeling, like despite feeling like you're walking through quicksand at times, like nothing is passing you by. So don't worry about the timing. Just stay focused and diligent on kind of discerning what you need to discern here, both about what you're detangling from and what you're trying to take action on in terms of a decision that you're coming to. And a leg up and no place like home. Let me look at these cards. I don't know. I mean, this leg up is clearly like a mom or a dad with the baby. And then no place like home. So I'm just wondering if there is also some sort of familial aspect here that can really, like, have you looked deeply enough about what kind of leg up a parent might be able to give you? I know that society like makes a lot of fun of like the Nepo babies in, you know, I mean, it's focused on Hollywood right now, but you see it in every industry. And I think that's such a case-by-case thing. Sometimes Nepo babies are the worst, and sometimes they've actually like, you know, it's in their genes. Like they're really sort of, you know, maybe like 10 generations have been carpenters in the family, and they're just like really in your genes and you naturally take to it. And so why shouldn't you be able to do it type of thing, you know? And I'm getting some feeling here like that. A leg up from a parent, not just because they can give you a leg up, but because you're meant to do something that they can give you a leg up in, like you're wired to do it. So I don't know if there's something here that you've held yourself back in because you don't want to be associated with nepotism, or you want to feel like you've made your own way. But Spirit is saying there's some kind of leg up that a parent, an aunt or an uncle, a cousin, someone in your family could give you. And it may be as big as really opening the doors to doing what they do in a whole career world, or it could just be making a connection they're able to make for you, an introduction. You know, it might be more simple like that, but either way, it's like that's something to look at. These feel very much so connected, and that fate, that's why it's coming through, that it's not like you're just doing it because it would give you a leg up and that makes you the worst of a Nepo baby. No, it's in your stars, you're wired, you're meant, your astrology chart shows this is what you're here to do. So take those legs up, because you're not just an imposter here. Like, you are designed to be there. And so don't hesitate on those legs up. They are there. They were designed into your life for you to utilize. So that might be really specific for some people here. And if that doesn't resonate to you, it's worth just, I don't know, pondering, like looking a little, you know, with the owl looking a little bit below the surface, looking more intuitively at something around some kind of decision you're needing to make in your life, or you're feeling you're needing to like, you know, and in relation to this, again, some sort of decision you're needing to make in your life with your second house, with how you feel you are valued, what your values are, what you find joy and pleasure in. What's a decision you could make around that where you have a leg up naturally? Just think on that if this hasn't resonated for you yet. There may be something that kind of pops into your mind early in June that you're like, oh, that's interesting. Woo. Okay, I'm gonna pick two of these cards. Motion, air. Adventure, south. I think whatever is coming, this to me is like a hint about what this thing is that's faded. I think it's going to make your life, look at all these twos, 22, 2, connections here, relationships here, especially around home, potentially around groups as well. But whatever is coming here, whatever you connect into about some kind of decision you could make to sort of change how you feel valued in life and connected to like really utilizing your leadership potential, it's going to put your life into motion and bring a lot of adventure. And if you add up all these twos, 2, 4, 6, it's bringing a lot more like beauty and duty and purpose into your life as well. The 22, more foundation. This is a master builder number as well. And 2, relationships. So yeah, it's interesting. I just feel like whatever does come, probably more in July, but this to me is sort of like a whisper to you of what's to come, is like, be ready though, like enjoy maybe going through a bit of quicksand right now, enjoy a little bit of this downtime and this ability to be kind of slow and stalking of things, because when that decision and the divine timing comes to act on this decision and to pounce on whatever you lock in on, it is going to put your life into motion and bring a lot of adventure, and it's going to be like boop, 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 just like a lot. So so maybe enjoy June a little too, in terms of freedom to just, I don't know, not be completely absorbed into some kind of massive activity. Enjoy sort of personal freedom this month a bit. And these are very independent creatures in a way, the owl and the tiger. I know they have families, like tigers are great moms to their babies, and I do think owls have, I don't know exactly, but I know I've seen pictures of like a bunch of them in a nest together, but in general you tend to see them sort of hunting alone. So there is something about like personal freedom you should take advantage of this month, because I don't think that's going to be there in the same way once the pounce happens, once the divine timing and that fate kicks in. Okay, some couple of tarot cards, and then we'll pick a divine feather message to end. Yeah, whatever's coming is much more collaborative than where you are right now. And it's a totally like, there's your leadership and justice. Yeah, this is going to bring more balance to your life. And again, like, I don't know, it probably maybe doesn't resonate for all of you, but that nepotism baby thing, it's again just like reminding that, like, for you it's okay, for you it's just, for you it's fair, it's okay. And yeah, this is like an ending beginning chapter around how you're being utilized as a leader, how you're able to act as a leader in a way that feels pleasing, pleasurable, and that brings you value and self-worth. And yeah, there's like an ending and a beginning here. And then this is showing like much more collaborative times ahead. You're definitely moving out of that like solitary figure place in terms of, you know, how you're feeling connected to leadership and pleasure and value into a much more collaborative setting. And that leadership specifically that I think you're bringing is that intuitive wisdom and a real queen bee energy of knowing how to bring community, how to bring collaboration, and how to bring also rest within collaboration, like a more feminine way of working kind of thing. I saw that on I can't even remember where now, it was on social media, but like a feminine way of like being in the working world is much more kind of like creative and collaborative and communal, but also filled with rest. And I feel like that's sort of something you're going to walk into and be able to utilize and lead around those kind of pillars. And bringing balance also. This justice isn't, for those of you that don't resonate with like that nepotism thing or the leg up and the no place like home association, that wherever you bring your leadership to and how you're able to utilize this way of leading is going to establish balance wherever it's brought. So really beautiful. Okay, last card, a feather message for you guys. White turkey, the power to heal the earth is within you. Beautiful. And this to me feels like your matter. How you feel like you matter. I'm associating, instead of saying the power to heal the earth, the power to heal the matter is within you. Your matter, the power to heal you, how you matter, what matters to you is within you, as well as you have the power to bring healing to certain matters. And maybe those connect to earth, to environment, but not necessarily, they don't have to. Some healing to some matter because you're bringing a more feminine, and I don't care what gender you are, I think your leadership style is a little bit more feminine in its tenets, and it's bringing more balance, and it has the power to heal here. Gorgeous. Wow, these have been big readings this month. Yeah, anyway, this is where I'm going to leave you, pile 4. Happy June. It looks like you're coming into some big things, and so definitely take advantage of that more personal, independent space you have this month, because I think that's not something that's going to be felt in the same way you have it right now going forward. So yeah, anyway, if this resonated, I always appreciate the things, the like, subscribe, share, and definitely always grateful for kind and thoughtful short comments. And yeah, have a beautiful June, and I will see you in future readings.